What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Dope Sports Podcast, brought to you by dopecontent.com and Get the Tables on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow Get the Tables on Twitch. We are joined by co-host, as always, Tony from Get the Tables, ladies and gentlemen. And it's good to see him as always, man. Shout out to the Get the Tables community on Twitch and on Twitter. Definitely a dope wrestling community, man. So how's everything going?
Going all right. How about yourself?
Pretty good. We was talking off stream about the weather. The weather is pretty stupid down here right now. But other than that, it's pretty good. I mean, it's Valentine's Day, I guess. If that means anything. Yeah. That means it's spend your money day on your ladies. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
D-Well, what's good, man? What's good? Appreciate you coming in, the Noti Gang, the people that's coming in. We got off to a late start, a little bit late, like 12 minutes late. OBS updated on accident on my computer, and it gave me a hard time just trying to get us connected. So that was the hold up today. You know, dope content versus OBS. Yet again, it's still the rivalry of 2022 and the rivalry of 2023, it looks like. So
yeah, really, man.
Here we are, but we got a pretty good show for you today. We're not gonna be here too long. We have, as you see, the I almost said Sacramento. The Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions, ladies and gentlemen, taking out the Eagles in the classic game. And yeah, so we're gonna react to that. We're gonna react to the NBA trade deadline, because last week was right before the trade deadline, and that Thursday was crazy. I believe LeBron broke the all-time leading points record that same night of the podcast.
I think it was the night after, maybe. I can't remember. I know he did, but I think it was the night after, on Wednesday. I think he broke it.
Okay, so yeah, we can mention that as well. And then we have a few coaching moves already being made, so we'll get into that, and then we'll talk about next year. What do we see happening next year with some of these players and some of these teams? But let's get right into it. Hopefully the intro plays, and we're gonna get right into it. Let's go. Yes, sir. We are here. We are here. Once again, this is the Dope Sports Podcast brought to you by Dope Content and Get the Tables on Twitch and Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, the Super Bowl champions are the Kansas City Chiefs. They take out the Eagles in a classic Super Bowl game. Perfect game in my book. 38-35. Both number one seeds went at it. Both quarterbacks went at it. Patrick Mahomes went 21-27. 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts was matching him stride for stride. 27-38, 304 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 rushing touchdowns of his own with 70 yards. He made history as well with his rushing yards and his touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell, 21 yards on 7 carries. Miles Sanders didn't do much, 16 yards on 7 carries. Devontae Smith, 7 catches for 100 yards. No touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 6 catches, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. Dallas Gobert has 60 yards on 6 catches. Travis Kelce, 6 for 81 and 1 touchdown. Scott Moore didn't do much. Jerry McKinnon had 34 yards. Patrick Mahomes had 44 rushing yards. Isaiah, is it Pacheco? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Pacheco, okay. Had 76 yards. So total, they rushed for 158 yards together. Juju Smith, 7 catches, 53 yards. And again, classic Super Bowl game. It went down perfectly for me, but I'll let you, talk about your thoughts of the game, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the game. So it's all yours.
As an NFL fan, this is probably the type of game that you wanted. It was a competitive game coming down to the wire. Eagles dominated the first half. The Chiefs dominated the second half. Made it pretty close game throughout the second half. Just didn't really care for how it ended with the penalty to pretty much win the game. Not win the game for the Chiefs, but pretty much ice the game for the Chiefs there, because all they had to do was kneel the ball a couple times and kick the field goal to win the game. I understand it was a penalty. It was. He held him. Bradbury did admit to holding him in the interview after the game. But if you're gonna call it there, you got to call it all game, man. I think the inconsistency of the calls all game were a bit rough, because a lot of those calls could have been called quite a bit during that game. They missed a couple of holds and pass interferences on the Eagles as well. I'm not just gonna say it was just on that particular play, but they missed a lot of plays that had penalties. So I just think it was a rough night for the refs. Look, again, it was the correct call, but in that type of a situation, and I know Shannon Sharp did make a good point. So you're supposed to just swallow the whistle in that particular play because it's in the Super Bowl? No, not necessarily. But if you're gonna call that play, you got to be consistent and call the penalties on every. There's holding in pretty much every play in NFL. And if you're gonna call that, you got to call it every other time. It was just a rough way for the Eagles to lose, because you never know what could have happened. They could have got the ball back and drove downfield and scored, or they couldn't. We don't know. We have no clue of what would have happened if they got the that stop there. I would think it was just a shitty ending to a great game. Hurts played outstanding. He was unbelievable for the Eagles. I don't know what happened to Miles Sanders. That man just went missing. He played horrible. He didn't have a good game. A.J. Brown, Smith were incredible. One was a non-catch. Oh, no, they called it a catch. No, they did not call it a catch. That was a great
Smith
almost catch. Yeah, that he bobbled. He lost control out of bounds. And then the Brown touchdown, which was an incredible catch as well. Hurts played out of his mind. Eagles defense, I don't know, for whatever reason, just did not show up in the second half. The adjustments the Chiefs made in that second half was miraculous. They really tore up the Eagles in the second half, especially on those 2 goal line plays. And then the Eagles, I don't know what happened. They just kind of went stale on offense to that last play when they went down and got the score and got the 2-point conversion. Chiefs woke up in that second half and showed everyone why they were there. They were supposed to be in the Super Bowl. Of course, Mahomes was Mahomes. I don't think he was really that hurt. I think he was milking that injury up. That's just me. To see what he was doing out there with a grade 2 sprained ankle. I know they shoot you up with shit, but come on, man. I just feel like that was just for the media, the play for the media. But good job. Congrats to the Chiefs. They win again, 2 out of 3 Super Bowl wins. They're not yet a dynasty, but they're getting there, and they're going to be there for a while. With the combination of Mahomes and Andy Reid, they're not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Now, do they need to pick up players and pick up some more talent? Absolutely. Kelsey's up there in age. He's 34 years old. He can't keep doing what he's doing every year. So I'm sure they'll get some people going over there. They're like the Warriors of the NBA. People are going to sign cheap to go there to try to win the championship. So congrats to the Eagles. Congrats to the Chiefs on 2 great seasons. And I'm sure we'll see these 2 teams here next year.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, you said a lot there, and I just wanted to let you get it all out. Because I know a lot of people were feeling some type of way about that call.
Look, it was the right call. It was a holding. Like, I'm not gonna deny that it wasn't holding, but to me, it didn't affect the play. Like, I don't feel like Juju, regardless if he was held or not, was gonna get to that ball. Like, he overthrew Juju pretty big. He's not Tyreek Hill,
right?
Or he's gonna speed and catch that ball. Juju is not no cheetah out there. I feel like even if he held him for a slight second, which he did, I don't think that
he held him
twice. The play. I don't think he held him twice. I think he put his hand on his back, but I don't think he was able to hold him that time. I think if it was a very, very obvious hold, especially on the back, on the one that the second one, then I'm like, okay. But the first one was a very, very ticky-tack. Very ticky-tack. And I feel like they could have let that go. Just in my opinion. And again, I know we shit on the refs all the time for not making calls or missing calls. And that would have been a huge call to not make if the commentators or fans made it a big deal. But, we don't know what would have happened. So they made the right call. I just feel like it was rough in that situation. But yeah, the Eagles never got a chance to score.
Yeah, so that was
10 seconds left on the clock, I believe, when they finally got the ball back. So it was a little bit rough.
And that's the thing. Like, yeah, the call was what it was. It was 3rd and 8 when they made the call. Who knows if they go for it or not with their kicker missing a field goal in the first half.
Right.
That had them down 10 instead of, 7 going into halftime. So who knows? They probably would have went for it, probably would have converted anyway. Honestly, because
we don't know though. We don't know for sure.
But the thing is, if you go by the history of the game, the way the game was going, the flow of the game, I should say, the Chiefs scored touchdowns on every single drive except the last one, and the last one was a game-winning field goal. They ran a timeout and scored a game-winning field goal.
The Chiefs played unbelievable. Like I saw a stat where Mahomes had 1 incompletion that second half, and it was a throwaway. So like they played fantastic. I don't know what adjustment they made in the second half against the Eagles defense that just they dominated them. They just dominated them in the second half. Those 2 goal line plays, they ran the same 2 goal line plays and scored on both of them, wide open plays. So I just don't know what happened out there.
It was the same play too.
Yeah, miscommunication or
nope. I'm gonna
or
tell
what?
you.
There's just not great defense out there for the Eagles. And I know a lot of people are now saying the Eagles defense is overrated and they were playing low class quarterbacks.
Dak put up 40 on that team.
So I mean, I don't know. It was just that's in that second half they just did not play well. And you got to give some credit to the Jaguars because on those goal line plays, Jaguars used those 2 plays
Doug Peterson
against the Eagles during the season.
And
they worked. And Doug Peterson used to be under Andy Reid, so I don't know if that's an Andy Reid play or if that's a Doug Peterson play. I'm not sure. But yeah, props for the Chiefs just doing their due diligence and just game planning. Game planned a great second half.
Yeah, D Webb said the Eagles losing was the perfect birthday gift. Happy birthday,
sure.
D Webb.
Is he the Cowboys fan or is he
he a Cowboys fan as well.
Oh, okay. Of course that was.
My keys of the Super Bowl were, again, one thing that stood out that people don't talk about, because it stood out to me, was Kansas City went in the coin toss and deciding to kick it so they could receive the ball in the first half. And I was like, why are you giving them the ball? This team is the Eagles are the best team, you know, as far as scoring on the first drive. They have the highest percentage at 63.5% or 63.4% on scoring on the first drive. So why would you give them the ball? So I'm sitting there thinking like, man, this is not a good idea to give them the ball, you know, first, because they're going to score. You know what I'm saying? And they did. They scored, but Pat Mahomes came right back. But it helped them being down 10 because they were able to get the ball first in the second half, go down and score. So, hey, shout out to Andy Reid for that, because I was definitely questioning that. Like, why are you giving them the ball first, knowing how they start the game?
It did end up helping them in the long run, definitely. You know, being down by 10 at halftime, and then they were able to get the ball at the beginning of the half. They're very lucky it worked out for them, because who would have known? What if the Eagles got that stop right there? So, you know, props to Andy Reid for nutting up and having them get the ball first.
Yeah, because Kansas City defense is not like the 49ers, Cowboys, and all them. So they're good, but they're not elite. So the Chiefs missed the field goal in the second quarter. That was a key play. Jalen Hurts fumbling without being touched, and that was recovered for a touchdown. That was a huge play for the Chiefs. So once again, this game went perfect for me. If I was to write a script down for the Super Bowl, this is exactly how I would have it. Jalen Hurts balled out, so I could say, hey, pat on my back, because I was telling Eagles fans to relax on Jalen Hurts during the offseason. Jalen Hurts proved that he's a player once he has weapons around him. But he lost. Eagles lost. So this was a perfect Super Bowl for me. Now, we talked about the fake jet sweep play that they got from the Jaguars, or the Doug Peterson got from Andy Reid back in the day. Who knows who got it from who? But the point is, they used it twice on back-to-back drives, and the Eagles still couldn't stop it. And they've seen this play before this year, and they can't stop it. Like, the communication is bad on that play. So that's something they need to look out for going into next year, because you know other teams are going to try to run that play on that team. So that's something to look out for. Another play that people forget is the Quez Watkins drop late in the third quarter on that post route. It was like a 30-yard pass. Jalen Hurts hit him, and he dove, and it went right through his hands. A lot of people forget that play. They end up punting on that possession. That was a big play. If he make that catch, it's a different game. It's a different game. But everybody that's complaining about the refs, I had Eagles fans just last night. We went out to dinner, me and my lady, and we went out to dinner with some friends. And I got people like, hey man, what's up? I had never met this guy. I'm just now meeting like her friend's boyfriend or whatever, right? And the first thing he say, oh man, I can't stand this scripted stuff. I was like, what are you talking about? It's just so scripted, man. The NFL, you know, that's been a joke lately after what's the running back that said that? What was the running back? Was it Arian Foster? Yeah, come out and say, it's scripted. All so everybody's been joking on Twitter, talking about, yeah, we read the script. This is all that. So it's been a joke. But you got people that believe that. And I'm just like, stop it with this. Now Eagles fans are jumping on that bandwagon just because they're mad because they lost. Yeah, it's scripted, man. He didn't hold him. Bradbury said he held him. He said he held him. And then if you watch it, he grabbed him the first time with Juju cut in. And then when he cut out, he grabbed his jersey. Bradbury admitted that. Like, I understand it was a bad time, I guess, to throw the flag, but you have to throw the flag. You can't just blatantly miss it because it's the end of the Super Bowl. Like, if you see it, you got to throw it. So
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. It's just, I feel like,
I don't think that's an excuse. I don't think that is an excuse, though. They're trying to use that one play as an excuse, and I'm like, well, they scored every single drive in the second half.
Yeah.
Every single drive. You haven't stopped them all second half. That's not an excuse. Even with Pat Mahomes on one ankle and drugged up, he done got shot up in the other ankle, but he's still technically on one ankle. Even on that 32-yard scramble, you could tell he was struggling to make that run. So, like, it's no excuse. He was still clowning. Y'all did a good job in the first, and then you couldn't stop the run. Isaiah was running all over y'all in the second half. You couldn't stop the run. So, Eagles fans, you gotta cut that out, man. Hey, you made it to the Super Bowl after you loaded up. We're gonna get into your free agency and your salary cap later on, but right now, this was a perfect Super Bowl. Congrats to the Chiefs. Where does this put Andy Reid as far as your coaching list of all time?
He's getting up there, man. And he's not done yet. So he did a great job with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. He never won a championship with them, but he did a great job with them. And then now going to the Chiefs and making them the powerhouse that they are. You know, he's definitely going to be considered in the top 5 if he continues doing what he's doing. Maybe even, I mean, he's never going to pass Belichick, obviously, unless they go on some crazy Super Bowl title runs.
He can.
But he's definitely up in the conversation.
Well, do you have a top 5 list?
Not off the top of my head. I couldn't give it to you right here. But Belichick's got to be up there, number 1.
Belichick.
And, you know, you got, who else is up there?
I think Joe Gibbs might be up there, and I don't even like Gibbs. But I think he won with 3 different quarterbacks.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Then you got Parcells. Andy Reid has to be top 5 at this point.
Let's see here. According to Google, top NFL coaches, we got Lombardi, Walsh, Don Shula, Belichick, Andy Reid, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, George Halas.
So they do have him in the top 5.
They do have him in there. Let me see.
Because what is he?
Let me get to the top 5. Let me move all the way down.
Pring, what's good?
The 5. Okay, they got 5. They got Paul Brown. I'm not sure who that is. That's way before my time.
Yeah, I can't.
4 is Don Shula. 3 is Lombardi. 2 is Tom, and then 1 is Belichick.
Oh wow!
But this was made in. Oh, this is 2012. So this is old as fuck.
Okay. And Andy Reid has been to what, 9 or 10 conference championship games? It's 5 with the Chiefs, I believe, right? And was it 4 with the Eagles?
Yes, 4 with the Eagles.
And it was 4 straight, right?
Yeah, 4 straight. They went to the Super Bowl once.
Hey.
Paul Brown, Bill Walsh, Don Shula. Yeah, this one has the same list. Same people. And this was from 2 years ago. I don't see where they have Andy Reid at. They don't have him in the top 10. They have him at 11. So he might enter the top 10 conversation.
Wow.
After this Super Bowl. He's had 13 divisional titles. He's had 4 Super Bowl appearances and 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty low. I thought he would be higher than that. But okay. The Super Bowl played out great, man. Congrats to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Even though they lost, you gotta love what you saw this year. Congrats to the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce did his thing. Pat Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP and NFL MVP. It was funny because I was trolling, and you saw this too, because I was like, hey, Eagles fans, Dak Prescott left that stadium with a trophy, but the Eagles didn't.
I saw that, man. They were booing that, man. When
they booed him.
Trophy. It's like, goddamn.
Booed the mess out of Dak Prescott, but hey, Dak walked out of there with a trophy.
Yeah.
The Eagles didn't. Nah, I'm just saying, Eagles didn't. So that just made it hilarious to me, because I was like, man, they did give Dak. They waited until the Super Bowl to give him the trophy in front of the Eagles fans, knowing they would go boo him. And it's so.
I mean, they booed
LeBron too.
They booed LeBron. They booed Rondé Barber.
Yeah, they just
because but you know why they booed him, right?
Yeah.
The Bucks shut down the vet.
Yeah. So, but Eagles fans were crazy, man. They were turning over cars before the Super Bowl even started.
Tipping over cars and greasing up the poles already. Yeah, the Eagles fans, the Philly fans don't mess around, dude.
Yeah, man. Nobody deserves taking these L's like Philly fans, man. They lost the World Series. They lost the MLS Cup, whatever it's called, MLS Cup, and then they turned around and lost Super Bowl as well. WWE fan talking about that Tubi video. Man, say that Tubi commercial, bro. Did you get caught on that Tubi commercial?
No, I don't know how people I don't know how people got on that, man. It's like they went to a commercial and then came right back with Olsen and the commentator. Like it didn't get me at all. Like I was like, oh, this is a commercial.
I have like the Fire Stick and stuff, so my menu looked exactly like that. So I'm playing the game while watching the Super Bowl. So I'm like, oh, they on commercial. I'm focused on the game. Then I hear them come back. So I look up. Okay, they back already. The next thing you know, it goes to Tubi. I'm like, who's playing with the remote right now? Somebody's playing.
Like, if you're not paying attention, I can totally see you getting caught on that one. But like, if you're actually watching the game, there's no way you could get caught looking like that, because they went to a commercial. And then like 2 minutes, not even like a minute later, they popped back up with Olsen and Burkhart, and they're talking. And you could tell the background looked a bit different.
It was darker, yeah.
Yeah, so like you could tell it was a commercial, but I didn't know what it was for, of course. So it didn't get me because my menu don't look like that.
Yeah.
On my phone, on my TV. But I saw a lot of people mentioning and moaning about that, and I don't know if that's a good thing for Tubi
it was clever.
or a bad thing.
It was clever. It was very clever because everybody's talking about Tubi right now.
But not in a good way. That's the thing. That's the thing. They're not talking about them in a good way.
They got a lot of people are joking about it from what I've seen. But Tubi, they got a Super Bowl commercial and everybody is talking. Hey, nobody was talking about Tubi before outside of the bad movies.
That is true. That is true.
So,
that is true.
Hey,
commercials this year were kind of shitty.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, they weren't great.
It's like they run out of ideas.
The Super Bowl commercials used to be like the number one thing other than the Super Bowl game itself.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, there was maybe one or two that were like pretty nice or funny, but other than that, they were just kind of throwaways.
Yeah.
WWE got a commercial. How about that? I saw that. That's pretty impressive.
Well, they better. It's on Fox, so.
True. I wonder if they had to pay the extra cash to get on that.
I'm pretty sure they did. Lamar Champion, what's up, man? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, both statements you said, Lamar Champion, is true. So I can't even. Yeah. But yeah, I was on my, I was playing Undisputed Boxing on the PC and had the Super Bowl up there. So I'm kind of doing this, and I looked up. I'm like, what's happening with the Tubi commercial, man? But they got me. They got me. But you got anything else Super Bowl before we move on?
No, other than I'm glad it wasn't a blowout, which would look like in the first half that it could become a blowout.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we got a good game. The finish, again, took away from the game because that's what everyone's talking about now is the refs and the call. And the field, man, that field was rough.
That field was horrible.
Field was bad.
Horrible field, man. Like, they said they sprayed it with something before the game, which didn't make sense to me. But they were slipping and sliding all over the place.
Falling everywhere. Yeah. I mean, it was not for a Super Bowl field. It's not what you expect to see, and it was pretty bad.
The Chiefs complained about that field because they played the Cardinals in Week 1 there earlier this season. They complained about the field, so obviously they didn't fix anything because everybody was sliding all over the place. AJ Brown probably would have had a touchdown on one of those catches where he actually slid when he tried to cut back after catching the ball. He could have had that sideline if he didn't slide. So, I mean,
just a bunch of slipping and falling, and people were just trying to catch their balance. It was just ugly, man.
Yeah, so it's crazy. What you think about Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show? It was a lot of singing.
I mean, it wasn't like spectacular. It was cool. The type of stuff that they did, and then her being able to announce that she's pregnant, pretty much during the halftime show. I don't think it was better than last year's Super Bowl halftime show. It was just kind of simple, nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, no guest appearances. So yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it would be a little bit. I don't know, when it first started, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna be. But then I saw when they kind of zoomed in on her when she was like 150 feet in the air. First of all, I was like, you bold as hell to be up there. Yeah. On that platform. So, but at the end, come to find out you're pregnant and you way up there, that's crazy. So I think she did a good job considering the circumstances that, she's pregnant and all that stuff. She was walking all the way up and down the platform multiple times, and she did a little dancing, but she didn't do typical Rihanna dancing. So that's another reason everybody was like, is she pregnant? Because she's not even moving, But it was good. The music sounded good to me as a musician. I didn't hear any like bad notes or heavy breathing or nothing like that. So it was a lot of pre-recorded stuff too, but her mic was on. Let's just say that. So, and she'll come in with some notes every now and then. So I think it was an overall good Super Bowl, one of the best Super Bowls that I could remember.
Was it better than last year's? Last year's was pretty good too.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, because Cooper Kupp did get that game-winning touchdown on Eli.
And the Bengals had a last chance drive
and
to
that
go
was
down and score.
People were mad at Jalen Ramsey for getting away with a holding call too.
Yeah,
that they didn't call last year, and that was blatant. Like Jalen Ramsey definitely held Jamar Chase.
I think we've got back-to-back pretty solid Super Bowls. Maybe this year's was better because it was more high scoring and a little bit more entertaining. But I think back-to-back years we've gotten pretty solid Super Bowls.
Yeah, last year was good too. I don't know. I'm gonna have to double check. Right now, I'm gonna say this year because they started off bow, just going at it. So, yeah, right now I'm gonna lean towards this year. But last year was good. But let's keep it moving. Now that the Eagles are done for the season, it's time to look into the future. Are they going to pay Jalen Hurts? Are they going to wait another year? I don't know if Jalen Hurts has another year because he was drafted second round. So I don't know if they have to pay him this year. I need to look at his contract. But they already lost their offensive coordinator as he is going to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Shane Steichen is the new head coach in Indy, former offensive coordinator in Philly. WWE fans say Rihanna looked great. Yes, she did. She did. A lot of people were complaining because she didn't take her clothes off. I was like, what?
The Eagles might lose their offensive coordinator as well.
That's who they just lost.
I'm sorry, their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, so, I didn't even see that yet. But hey, it's all good for me. I love it. Get him out of there.
Become the coach of the Cardinals.
Okay.
So,
that's something to keep an eye on.
They're going to lose both their offensive and defensive coordinator, it looks like.
Yeah, I love it. It seemed like the refs let them play all game, only called blatant. Stop, Lamar Champion. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. they called, that was actually the best playoff ref game this season. If you look at all the other games in the playoffs versus Sunday, that was the best game they called, honestly. So stop the complaining, man. They couldn't stop him anyway. They scored every drive. But we already talked about that, so we moving on. Speaking of offensive coordinator, the guy from Georgia, I don't have his name right now. I think his name is Monken. Let me click on it.
Yeah, Todd Monken.
Yeah, Todd Monken is going to be the offensive coordinator for the Ravens. Who knows if Lamar is going to be there or not? Don't know where it is. They are far apart in contract negotiations, but the Ravens did get a new offensive coordinator from University of Georgia. What you think about that hire?
Man. I was hoping that he would go to the Bucs because the Bucs were looking at him as well.
Really?
Yeah, he got an interview with the Bucs as well. I think it's smart for him to go to the Ravens. Smarter choice, more of a established quarterback because we don't know what the Bucs are doing right now. But
we don't know what the Ravens doing right now.
Well, I think they have a better shot at keeping Lamar than it's a better opportunity with Baltimore than it is with Tampa because you get Lamar. If you don't get Lamar, you'll get something in return for Lamar. Yeah, great pickup for the Ravens. I'm curious to see what else moves happen now because it's the week after or it's the day after or 2 days after the Super Bowl. You're gonna start seeing dominoes start to fall and more people starting to sign. So there's like 4 or 5 teams without coordinators right now, and there's a team without a coach. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of days, who goes where, who gets picked up. And yeah, good pickup for the Ravens. I was hoping Monken would go to the Bucs. He was a former offensive coordinator with the Bucs like 3 years ago when Winston was here. Winston had that crazy like 40-40 or 40-30 or whatever that season was when he had like 30 picks.
You're right.
But he's a good offensive coordinator, and he was with Georgia for a little bit. He's been there with them for a couple of years with those national championships. So yeah, he's a good pickup, man.
All right, so now we are officially at the NFL off season, And it is starting for everybody now because the Super Bowl is over with. So now, as far as the Eagles and the Chiefs, do you see both teams returning back to the Super Bowl or being at least in the NFC and AFC title game next year, or no?
Oh, man. If the Eagles lose both their coordinators, I think it's going to be a little bit tough because that's quite the change there, seeing who they bring in. Chiefs, I think is an easy yes. The Chiefs are just loaded, and they're going to get more people on that team next year or this coming season. With free agency, like I said earlier, they're like the Warriors of the NBA. People are going to sign cheap to go there and play for them to try to get a chance of winning a Super Bowl. So yeah, I think the Chiefs will be there at the end of the year. Again, Eagles kind of up in the air, because you got NFC is striving. Plus there'll be moves in the NFC as well, where Carr goes, where Rodgers goes. Dallas is up and coming. You still got other teams in their own division that could break out. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit tougher for the Eagles because I think the NFC is a little bit more wide open than the AFC. AFC is like has 4 contenders right now, and then it's everyone else in AFC. NFC is just kind of you pick and choose who you think would be there.
Whoever loads up at NFCs, basically.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. I think the Chiefs are automatically there. We said it 3 weeks ago on the stream that at least I believe that it's going to be Burrow and Mahomes for the next 4 to 6 years between those two in AFC. Now NFC, you're right, it's more open in the air. They have a lot of free agents coming up in Philly though, so it's really about who they're going to keep and who they're going to cut. If you look at the overthecap.com, they have Philly at $8 million over the cap right now. But we have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, a free agent, Linval Joseph, Dominic Sue, Pascal, Miles Sanders, Marcus Epps, Gardner Minshew, whatever with that. Boston Scott, Andre Dillard. Let me keep going. Where are they free agents? They just disappeared on my phone. On my computer. My screen just went black.
I think the biggest question marks are obviously Gardner Johnson, if they're going to keep him.
Bradbury is a free agent.
And Bradbury too. And then you got Miles Sanders. Do you keep Miles Sanders? He underperformed in the Super Bowl. He had a pretty solid season for them, but do you want to pay him good money?
I think he's gone.
A return when you had Gainwell pretty much perform very well in the Super Bowl. You could probably draft a running back as well. So do you pay Miles Sanders that big time money, or do you let him walk? I think if I'm the Eagles, I'll let him walk.
And then you got Brandon Graham, who is a free agent, Fletcher Cox, Robert Quinn. This list. Hargrave is a free agent. Kelsey is talking about retiring.
Yeah, he might retire.
Yeah, that's going to be a big hit right there. Kazir White, TJ Edwards. It's a lot of people that they have to think about. And then you have to think about re-signing Jalen Hurts. You can't just let this man go to Super Bowl and put up the numbers that he put up and not re-sign him and not extend him. So that's going to eat up your cap right there. You're only $8 million over at the moment. So if I'm gonna give you these names and you let me know if you think they returning or not. Let's start with Fletcher Cox. He's returning to the Eagles or no?
I would say no.
Robert Quinn.
No.
Brandon Graham.
Yes.
Javon Hargrave.
No.
Jason Kelsey.
I think he retires.
James Bradbury.
No, but I think they keep Gardner Johnson.
Okay. Dominic Sue.
Gone.
Kazir White, linebacker.
Gone.
TJ Edwards, starting linebacker.
Well, they're gonna have to keep someone, so yeah, I'll say they keep him.
And then Boston Scott and Miles Sanders.
I think Boston Scott over Miles Sanders because he'll sign for cheap. Miles Sanders doesn't want to get paid.
I think both are gone.
I wouldn't be surprised if both are gone, but they're gonna have to do so. Like I said, I think the Eagles let go Miles Sanders and they draft the running back. They may go after the boy from Texas.
Because they do have. That's another thing. The Eagles have 11 draft picks coming up, and two of them in the first round.
Yeah,
thanks to the freaking Saints.
Yeah, so they can go after. They can rebuild on whoever they think they're gonna get away with, or Bjorn Johnson from Texas. Is a lot of people were saying that they may pick him up and let go of Miles Sanders.
I'm gonna hate that if they do that. So to everybody that's thinking that the Eagles are just done because they went all in this year, which they did it the smart way. They did it on expiring contracts and 1-year contracts. So if they had to make decisions to either let people go, or it's easy for them to do it because they own expiring contracts and 1-year contracts. I mean, it's easy. They did it the right way. Jerry Jones, who's sitting there talking about they put all their eggs in one basket and it's gonna cost them in the future. No, it's not. They have 11 draft picks. 2 in the first round. One of them is the top 5 pick. And then you have the going in with cap space and you still got expiring contracts. So Jerry Jones, get it together, man. Let's get to the Chiefs. I think the Eagles will be back definitely in the playoffs. Now the NFC title game and Super Bowl, we'll see. It depends on if Jalen Hurts can do it twice. We'll see. Let's get into the Kansas City players. Orlando Brown Jr., left tackle.
Yes.
I think he got to come back. They didn't give up any sacks. Oh, I forgot to give you their salary cap too. That'll kind of help. So their salary cap right now is $7 million in cap space right now. So Juju Smith.
Oof, that's a toughie, man. I think he's gone. I think he gets paid.
Yeah, he said he wants to come back to Kansas City, but if he doesn't make it back with Kansas City, he wants to be one of the top paid wide receivers, and I don't think he's earned that.
Not. Yeah. He has not earned that, but I don't think Chiefs are going to pay him that type of money.
Right.
That he wants.
Carlos Dunlap, DN.
I think he's gone.
Derek Nottie, the D tackle.
Gone.
I'm gonna just skip over some of these names because Chad Henry retired anyway. Ronald Jones, running back. You know about him.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I don't think they pick him back up. He didn't do shit for them this year.
Ooh, 2 of them. I'm gonna give you 2 of them. Jerick McKinnon and Mecole Hardman.
Oof, that's interesting because Mecole Hardman is kind of like their Tyreek, and he was injured.
Yeah, they proved they can win without him.
McKinnon played well for them too, man. He played really good. I think they both stay.
Huh, okay. Deion Bush and Juwan Thornton, both safeties.
I think they're gone.
Both of them?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all like the major players that you see on the field. So, hey, we'll see, man. It's going to be... Should we go to Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay has no cap, bro. They're over like 50 million.
What do you want to do the list anyway?
I know Levante David's one of them. I think they're gonna try their best to keep him. I think he'll be gone. We got Jamel Dean. I think he'll be gone. Akeem Hicks, he'll be gone.
Ooh, Kyle Rudolph.
Gone.
Wow. Well, I know Bashar Perriman, Keanu Neal, Giovanni Bernard probably all gone. Yeah. Logan Ryan is probably gone. Yeah, you really not. I mean, the only
Levante David.
Yeah, that's the only
Jamel
difficult
Dean,
one.
And I think we have Sean Murphy Bunting. I think he's on there.
Yeah, he's on there. Yeah.
It's gonna be I think 2 out of those 3 will be gone.
Ooh,
look, Levante David wants to retire a Tampa Bay Buck. I just don't see it happening because we're not going to pay him unless he takes a very, very, very generous offer. And he should go to a team and try to win another title, man. I wouldn't blame him if he left.
William Ghostin. I didn't know he was a free agent this year for you guys.
Yeah, I don't think he stays, man.
Huh.
I think he's gone as well.
Okay. I just wanted to run over your team. I did a whole video talking about my team and who I would get rid of in the offseason. So I just want to get your opinion on your
honestly,
team.
This is, look, Tampa Bay, it's a rebuild, man. They're going to try to be competitive, but it's a rebuild. They're gonna take the big cap hit this year. Next year, 2024, is when they'll be able to kind of their feet back into the sand and be able to try to sign some people.
Yeah.
We'll see how Todd Bowles does this year with the people that he handpicks as his coaching staff, because a lot of the coaching staff he had was Arians.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it works out with the new offensive coordinator and whoever they bring in at quarterback and whatever have you. And yeah, look, Tampa Bay, good luck. I don't think it's going to be a successful season next year. They're going to try to be competitive because the NFC South is just not great.
It's pretty bad.
Carolina will be better, of course. But other than that, I don't really see Tampa Bay really doing much in the offseason.
Q more on YouTube. What's good, my guy?
Curious to see what they do with the 19th pick, though. Because do they draft a quarterback or do they go after...
He said Chad Powers.
Defensive guy or what? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, this offseason is going to be interesting for a lot of people. The Ravens got decisions to make. You got, like, Marcus Peters is one of your biggest... You know, Calais Campbell just tweeted out that he's staying, so he's not going anywhere. And then you got Lamar Jackson, and then you got a lot of teams, but we'll get into that we'll save it for, episodes down the line, because we don't want to,
yes, sir,
give everything away right now. So we won't have nothing to talk about in about 3 weeks. But yeah, that's the NFL. Let's get into the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, the trade deadline has came and passed. And now it's time to decide who won the NBA trade deadline, what teams got better, what teams got worse. I'll let you start.
Who got worse? I can tell you who did better. I think the Lakers did a great job on their trades. Getting who they got from Utah. I think that was a fantastic trade for them. Who else made trades? The Spurs did, but they just got rid of guys just to get rid of cap space. I'm trying to think who made some massive. I mean, Phoenix, my goodness, getting Kevin Durant. I mean, how can you not say that they did great in their trading? Trying to think of who else made some trades that kind of upgraded.
It's one team that people are sleeping on because of who they lost, but I think they did a good job.
Who's that?
Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn's gonna look. They won't be a title contender this year, but they got some good people. They got some good young talents over there, and draft picks now as well. So yeah, I think they. I think you're right.
Yeah. So Phoenix definitely, in my opinion, I think they won the trade overall as far as like all the teams, because that instantly put them from a struggling Western team to top Western team just like that. Because I mean, you add Kevin Durant, even with Chris Paul not being Chris Paul anymore, and DeAndre Ayton is up and down. You add Kevin Durant with Devin Booker, that's just crazy. Yeah. Like,
that is insane.
That's
man.
tough to stop. So I would give Phoenix credit for that. I hate it because that's our biggest rivals at the moment, Phoenix and Dallas. We going at it right now, so I hate it. But it is what it is. Phoenix. I'm still trying to decide if I want to put Phoenix ahead of Denver in the West. Denver is still loaded. Like,
they are, and it's hard to see. We got to see how they play together too in Phoenix. I mean, not saying that it.
I mean, as long as Chris Paul is on the court, he can still pass and control the offense. That's the key.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the West, because the Lakers, they lost last night, but I think they got better with the acquisitions that they got. And you got the Phoenix Suns. Get Durant.
Don't read Lamac comments talking about the Pistons. He trying to get you.
Denver didn't make any really moves.
Didn't they just sign Dedmon? I mean, not Dedmon, but who did they got a center? Was it Dedmon?
Dedmon went to Philly. He went to Philly.
Somebody just got brought out, and Denver just picked them up. Let me look.
Who was it? I can't remember. I think I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember who it was. I know Terrence Ross got bought out by Magic. He's going to the Suns.
That was big because we wanted him.
Yeah, Suns are getting loaded, man. They're going to be a tough team to beat in the playoffs in a 7-game series.
Reggie Jackson.
Right now, Oh, Reggie Jackson.
Reggie
That's
Jackson
a good
went
pickup
to
for them.
Denver. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think as of now, and I know we're not going by the record. I think Phoenix is the team to beat right now in the West. Talent alone.
Yeah, talent, yes. But overall,
Thomas Bryant from the Lakers. Okay, yeah, that's a good pickup for them.
Okay, I knew it was somebody. I knew it was a big man too. So yeah, I'm sorry. I understand Phoenix got Durant and all them, and they did add Ross to the bench, which is huge for them because they needed a bench after getting rid of Cam Johnson and what's his name? I can't think his name. I almost called him Miles Sanders. Miles Bridges, yeah. I almost called him Miles Sanders. But getting rid of Bridges, but you turn around and add Ross. You still kept Cameron Payne. You only really need two people that can score off the bench, especially when you're going to have at least one of your four starters, big four, on the court at all time. You're going to always have to deal with either KD, Booker, Paul, or Aiden. So you really only need two people off the bench that can put up points, and they got it. So, hey, whew, I hate Phoenix, man. I hate Phoenix, but I don't know, man. I see a lot of people putting them as favorites, but right now I'm still lean towards Denver. Just because they've been together longer, they have the chemistry. I mean, they have it from top to bottom. Then adding Reggie Jackson, if they stay healthy, and Thomas Bryant, if they stay healthy, I mean, they have to be favorites still in the West.
I mean, I can't disagree with you on that because they've been the proven team. You know, they've been we can't count out Memphis either. We gotta remember Memphis is there too. But in a 7-game series, when you got Booker, you got Durant, you got Chris Paul, you got Ayton, you got Terrence Ross now. I mean, that is a tough team, man. That is a tough team to beat in a 7-game series.
That's going up against Joker, Murray, Jackson, Thomas, and all those people. And then what's his name? Porter. Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's gonna be a fun series if they end up facing each other in the playoffs.
It's gonna be great, man. And the Mavericks, I said Brooklyn already I think Brooklyn got better because they got a whole bunch of 3-and-D guys that can play defense. I know for sure they're gonna end up with the best defense in the NBA. They were already top 3 before they got rid of KD and Kyrie. Now you got all these defenders and Finney-Smith and Bridges and Johnson. And then you got Spencer Dinwiddie who can score. And you got Cam Thomas who can score. Only thing they need is Ben Simmons to return to being Ben Simmons, at least to 60% of Ben Simmons. He has all the shooters around him with Joe Harris, with Seth Curry, all these guys that can play defense and shoot and spot up and shoot. Bridges showed the other night, or last night I should say, that he could score when he need to, and he gets the opportunity to do it. And hey, man, Brooklyn got a solid team. Don't sleep on Brooklyn. I don't think they'll beat Boston or Milwaukee, but I wouldn't sleep on Brooklyn as being still top 3 in the West, or top 4 in the West, I should say. I'm sorry, in the East. Top 4 in the East. And then the Mavericks, we got Kyrie. That's a win for us. I'm sorry. I don't care how people want to spin it. We got Kyrie Irving playing with Luka Doncic. Now the only thing is, how quickly can we get them together at the end of games? Because right now, they're just playing hot potato because they don't want to be selfish at the end of the game. Like last night to close out that game, it was pass. No, you shoot. I don't want to be selfish. You shoot. And they end up not getting the shot off against Minnesota, and they end up losing by 3. But Kyrie went off in the fourth quarter, showing you why he's the leading scorer in the fourth quarter of the NBA this year. And he started off bad. He was 2 for 8 in the first half, and then fourth quarter, he just turned it up. So when you have that added to what Luka can do, the problem with the Mavericks right now that I have is crazy, but it's coaching. It's coaching.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy to say that because coaching is the sole reason why we overachieved last year. But now coaching is going to be the reason we underachieved this year if it keeps going like it's going. I don't understand why you won't play Christian Wood down the stretch of games. I don't understand why you're playing Theo Pinson at center. Why you starting Reggie Bullock at power forward, and you know our interior defense is trash. JaVale McGee had his best weekend of the season, getting blocks and rebounds and scoring for us, and then he played 2 minutes last night.
Oh, yeah.
Christian Wood had 28 points coming into the third quarter, didn't play at the stretch of the game. I don't understand it. And it's been like this all season. It took him half the year to finally start playing Hardy when the fans been telling him Jaden Hardy is good, man. You have to put him in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it's gonna take some adjusting, man. You're gonna have to have them.
Kid better stop being stubborn.
You know, it's gonna take some coaching adjustments for him, and then he'll end up figuring it out. Hopefully for you guys. I mean, I can't make any promises.
It's 23 games left. He better hurry up.
So we'll see what happens with you guys. I know. I mean, I would be overreacting a little bit to, after you make a trade and you're still not performing the way you think you should be performing. But again, at the end of the day, gotta wait it out, see what happens. And give it some time. You got a lot of time left still.
But see, that's the
2
thing.
more months at least.
That's the thing. It's not about what Kyrie and Luka are doing, because they still putting up their points, even at the end of the games where they're fumbling, trying to who's going to shoot the last ball. It's the rest of the game, and you're making decisions like, again, you keep taking Christian Wood out. That's your third best player, and he's the only reason that you guys were even in the game last night, coming off the bench. But you never play him down the stretch of the games. You rather play Theo Pinson at center and Reggie Bullock at the 4, going up against Rudy Gobert. Like, that doesn't make sense. They just killed the paint. It doesn't make sense at all. And the fact that I get it, Dwight Powell's a hustler. Like, I'm fine with Dwight Powell starting now, but put him at the 4. And put Wood or McGee at the 5. Like, your biggest problem is interior defense, but you're playing small ball. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand this. This has been an all-year thing. So my issue is not Kyrie. Kyrie has been balling since he came in. And look, they went 3-0, and then they lost the last 2 with him and Luka back, going up against the Kings in overtime, and then losing by 3 last night, and where they just couldn't decide who's going to shoot the last shot. But I'm talking about the rest of the game. So I don't understand that. Q Moore said, I don't understand why Wood isn't starting. Nobody can understand it, Q. I was like, if you're not going to play him, you should have traded him and got something for him. But Dallas, I still think Dallas won the trade because, like I said last week, even if Kyrie does leave, okay, we tried it. It didn't work. Now we have cap space that we would have had if we kept Spencer and what's his name, Dorian Finney-Smith. So it is what it is. I think Dallas did a good job when they trade. Dallas never have 2 stars together. We do now. So I would take it. The Clippers, let me see. The Clippers, I don't know how to judge Clippers, honestly. I don't even know how to judge Clippers. Minnesota getting Conley, I don't know how to judge Minnesota either, because you did get rid of Russell for Conley.
Yeah, I think Russell is a bit more of a player that they should have,
Yeah.
More of a pass first, not score first type of player.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work out. I guess that's kind of another one that we have to wait and see type of deal.
But Conley did look great in the system last night. He seems like he fits better. Rudy Gobert had a better game with Conley dishing out the ball. So maybe that's a good thing for him. They know. And where it is, Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. I'm sorry, not Karl Anthony Towns, but Rudy Gobert and D'Angelo Russell wasn't getting along. So that probably explains why Rudy played a better game last night too. So
doesn't surprise me.
The Knicks, they did all right getting Josh Hart. I think that was a good pickup for them. They needed another 3-and-D guy, so that was shout out to the Knicks for that. The Lakers did a great job. I think they did a great job. They got rid of Westbrook, which I don't think Westbrook was the sole problem, but they got rid of the scapegoat. And then you bring back D'Angelo Russell in the trade, and you got Malik Beasley. Now, we was on the podcast last week talking about LeBron needs 3-and-D guys. He needs shooters around him so he could go to the lane, kick it out, do his thing. The crazy thing is LeBron gets the record, and he's been sitting out ever since.
Yeah, he's been enjoying life right now. Just chilling.
So it's like, okay, you was injured when you got the record, but you played through it. So why you not playing through it now when you're fighting for a playoff spot and you got new teammates you need to try to figure it out with? So now people are looking at LeBron on social media and saying he's being selfish, and that's part of the problem in LA. So what you think about that?
I mean, still a lot of time left in the year, so
Not
I
that
think
much.
him taking a couple of days break is not that big of a deal. I don't think it's him being selfish. I just think, how do we know it's not the coaches telling him to sit, or we don't know exactly what's going on? So like, I think everybody needs to kind of relax. They're just trying to find more things to hate on LeBron about.
Yeah, I mean, I get everybody want to hate on LeBron. I used to be the LeBron biggest hater from like 2010 to 2012 when he went to Miami and he was like villain LeBron and all that and talking noise. Bro, nobody hated LeBron more than me back then. But I'm like, man, all right, people are doing too much, you know, with the LeBron hate. Anytime LeBron does something, is but this and this and that. Like, I'm like, shut up, man. Let this man, let this man be great. Enjoy the greatness, because you're gonna miss it when he's gone. We said this in wrestling about Cena. You're gonna miss Cena when he's gone. And then Cena left, and everybody is, Cena this, Cena that. It's the same with Kobe. People talk trash about Kobe. Kobe left, and now we miss Kobe. And then, unfortunately, he passed away, and now people really kissing his butt. And it's the same people that I know for a fact talk trash about Kobe the whole time he was here.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you're gonna do the same with LeBron. Just enjoy the greatness and just take it in. Like, you're blessed. You're blessed to see, if in my generation, you're blessed to see Mike do his thing, then Kobe do his thing, then LeBron do his thing, and then in between you got Dirk and and Tim Duncan and Shaq and all them added to it. Like, why are we sitting here arguing in 2023? People online arguing about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James still. Why? He got the record. All they did was start arguments on social media.
Yeah, that's just how fans are, man. They're always going to compare LeBron to Jordan for the rest of their lives.
It's two different eras.
Someone else jumps in and starts, or maybe overlapping LeBron.
It's two different eras. Like, if anybody, that's why I always say Kobe is disrespected in that conversation, because Kobe played right in the middle. He called Jordan and he called LeBron. And he had to deal with AI, T-Mac, Vince Carter, all these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, hey, whatever. I'm not even going to get into it. I know how I feel about the GOAT conversation. I stopped arguing 2 years ago on social media about it. So
I'm already done with that conversation. It's whoever you think is whatever, man.
Yeah,
you think better.
Yeah, but enjoy LeBron. Don't make it personal with him every time he does something. I still think I don't know what's going on with this, but it does come off as selfish when you play through the foot injury to get that record and you score 36 points in 3 quarters and then leave with 2 after that. You only scored 2 in the fourth and then y'all lost. And then you haven't suited up since. Like, your foot was hurting then, according to reports. Y'all got to try to make the playoffs, man. Like, you got a new team. They tried to help you out. Y'all are currently 13th in the West. You're only 3 games out of the play-in.
Yeah. I mean, I think he'll start playing here very, very soon. They're gonna need him, and then they got the All-Star break coming up too, so he'll be able to really rest up. That's if he doesn't play I think he's gonna play.
You think he's gonna play in the All-Star game? He better not. If he's sitting out.
If he does play, maybe he won't play for very long, but I think he'll be there. I think he's playing. No, Durant's not.
Yeah, I know Durant's hurt, so that's crazy. But I think LA won a trade as well. I can't think of no other team that really did anything. I think Memphis is gonna fall down in the ranks. Memphis, I've been saying it up even before trade deadline. Memphis is not what people think they are. Like, they a good regular season team. They remind me of the 2000s Mavericks, where they get you 50 games easily, but in playoff time, that's it. So they get exposed in the playoffs. Other than that, everybody else pretty much stood pat from what I can remember. We got the buyout market happening right now. So Terrence Ross, once again, we talked about that already, brought out, and he's going to Phoenix. Then you got Uh-oh, did you freeze? Oh, there you go.
Frozen?
Nah, there you go. You just popped back up. Terrence Ross just got brought out. He's in Phoenix now. Russell Westbrook, surprisingly, still hasn't been brought out yet in Utah, but I know it's going to happen. He's not going to play a game, at least in my opinion. I don't think he's going to play a game in Utah.
Westbrook?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on over there, man.
Yeah, I don't know what the holdup is there, but they might say we're going to keep you because we're in the playoff hunt. So,
It might. It's definitely possible.
I
mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
especially on the expiring contract, so it's not going to hurt you for next year. So that might be what it is, but I mean, you got to do a lot of convincing to get Westbrook to play for the Utah Jazz. I can tell you that. Now he does not like
Good
Utah.
luck with that, man.
Right.
Good luck with that. I don't see that working out. They might as well just buy him out and then go somewhere else.
Yeah. Which most likely will be the Clippers, which I would love to see if that happens. I would love to see Westbrook go to the Clippers. He stay in L.A., keep his family in L.A., and he gets to stick it to the Lakers for blaming him for 2 years. I think that would be great. I think that would be great. Yeah, Utah's in the 10th spot right now. They up over Portland by a game. And then Portland, speaking of Portland, they traded Gary Payton Jr. back to Golden State, which almost fell through because Gary Payton Jr. has been injured all season and failed his physical. But Golden State went on and accepted it last minute Sunday night. So he's officially back in Golden State. So with the trades being how they are now, I know you said you feel like Phoenix are at the top. I think we agreed on Denver being at the top. Who's your top 5 in the West and your top 5 in the East after the trade deadline? Yeah, the match champion is crazy.
Top five. I would probably go Phoenix, Denver, Memphis. Throw in Mavericks in there. Then just by default the Clippers. And then in the East, it's Milwaukee, of course. You gotta throw in Philly. And the East is tough.
The East is crazy.
Let's see. You got Philly. You got Milwaukee. I'm trying to think of who else could be Boston. Hello.
Yes.
I guess Cleveland, if you want to say, and then
you think Miami moves up?
I'm gonna say Miami. Miami.
Okay.
Miami always seems to be there, man. I'm gonna go Miami.
Yeah, Miami is a solid team. And New York is right behind them though in the standings. But my top 5 in the West. Oh, I noticed you didn't show love to Sacramento. You don't believe that they're gonna?
I mean, they'll make the playoffs, but they're not gonna make any noise. I don't think they're still young and upcoming. But I mean, that's definitely one of the shocking records of the NBA season is Sacramento.
Let me ask you this: if the Kings play the Grizzlies in a 7-game series, who you got?
Memphis.
I got the Kings.
Okay.
That's how much I don't believe in Memphis.
Damn.
Even though Ja Morant is awesome, Ja Morant is a monster. But I think Sacramento actually have a better overall team than the Grizzlies. And Darren Fox is legit. He doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He's legit.
He's really good.
Yeah, I think I'll take the Kings if they end up matching up. But top 5 in the West, I got Denver, Phoenix, the Clippers, number 3. I don't know. See, the Pelicans, I can't stay healthy, man. That's the thing about the Pelicans. Mavericks will be number 4. They'll be in the top 5 somewhere. And then, like I said, if it comes down to Memphis and Sacramento, I'm going to actually take Sacramento over Memphis. And the East, I mean, it's going to be Boston, of course, Milwaukee. Really, the top. I don't believe in Philly, man.
Yeah, Philly's always. I don't know, man. Something with Philly, they always bow out in the playoffs when you think they're gonna do good.
And I mean, Doc Rivers is the most overrated coach in NBA history, by the way. So that's another reason I don't believe in him. But yeah, Boston, Milwaukee, Cleveland. I think Brooklyn is gonna be. I'm trying to think of that team. I don't know what Ben Simmons gonna do, but Brooklyn will be 6. They'll be right on the edge of the top 5 if they don't stay in the top 5. So I'm gonna replace them with Miami, and then I think New York moves up. I think New York is gonna. I'll take New York over Philly.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's all we got for you today, man. Loaded show. Good conversation, man. We talked about a couple of free agents moves, and you know where you think the Eagles are gonna be next year, and the Chiefs, the 2 NFC and AFC champions, and then we have NBA talk, which we're gonna get more into now that NFL is over. We're gonna really start diving into the NFL offseason and everything like that. The Matt Champion, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for the bits.
Here we go.
Shout out to you, man. And thank you for the coming in, man. I know a lot of people be at work during this time of day, so I appreciate the ones that do get to come in and leave comments, and then the ones that watch the replay, man. I appreciate you. Once again, this is brought to you by dopecontent.com. Make sure you go to dopecontent.com and stay up to date. We even have a dope content market now on dopecontent.com where you get all your housing things, deodorant, soap, energy drinks that's legit. You get protein and pre-workout. It's a lot, so check it out. Make sure you check out Get the Tables. You got anything you want to shout out, Tony?
No, we'll be live tomorrow, Friday, and on Saturday. Big pay-per-view on Saturday.
That is Saturday.
You're more than welcome to stop by Dope if you'd like. But yeah, we'll be live over on our channel if you guys want to chit chat with some wrestling. We also talk whatever. I mean, we don't just stick to wrestling. We talk, anything. So you guys are more than welcome to stop by.
That's the same weekend as NBA All-Star Weekend too. The 3-pointer dunk contest. I don't know how.
Oh, is it really? Damn, that's rough. That sucks, man. That sucks.
I might. We'll see. I might do a watch along and join y'all. Matt Champion say even though Tony's a Jericho hater.
I love Jericho, man. It's Dave. It's Dave's the Jericho.
Yeah, that is Dave. You're right. But yeah, definitely a dope community over there on Twitch, man. If you're into wrestling and you love everything and just good conversation, you don't even have to like wrestling to go over there and check out the conversation, because the conversations are great, even non-wrestling related. So with Dave and Tony and Get the Tables and the whole community over there over Twitch. So make sure you go follow him if you're not following him. If you're watching on the replay on YouTube and Twitch and you're not following Get the Tables, make sure you do that and join that community. Show love. Tips, bits, subs, all welcome. If they have Cash App on the page, Cash App them. You know what? Speaking of Twitch, man, Twitch, I might just do straight Cash App because Twitch kind of pissed me off this month.
Oh, yeah?
So, you know the threshold changed, right? From 100 to what it is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I made over 101 streams just last week. Why is my payment not even 100 this month?
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, that's one stream.
That's what a lot of people I think I've seen on Twitch doing, is just strictly going PayPal or Cash App or whatever have you.
That's tell people
you get the full amount and nothing goes to Twitch.
Yeah. And I tell them, I say, if y'all just start putting your little sub money towards the PayPal and Cash App, I'll just go through the settings and cut all the commercials off.
Yeah.
So it won't be no automated commercials or nothing. They'd be like, all right, cool. I'll cut it off.
But, see, I don't have the automatic roll ads on, but everyone still gets ads. It's crazy.
Yeah, Twitch go roll their ads. They're gonna make their money.
That's just a Twitch thing. I can't even control that.
Yeah,
so it is what it is at this point.
But man,
I don't blame you if you do go that route.
I didn't like that at all. I saw that this morning. I was like, what? Like, what? Okay. And I'm like, that was one stream where I made over 100. Because Rob and King were going crazy, competing with each other. And I was like, I had other streams where other people were putting in, I was like, okay, well, whatever, man. It just didn't add up to me this month. Especially considering I decided not to get paid from last month. So I wanted that money to roll over too, like it normally does, and it didn't. So I'm like, where is that money?
You could do that. I didn't even know you could roll it over like that.
Yeah, like I just do the every 2 months payment, and it'll just be more. And I'm like, where is that money?
Wow, that's fucked up.
So I mean, okay, but it is what it is, man. But shout out to everybody that follow on Twitch and YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate the love to everybody that's coming through. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. I'm gonna start working on another overlay where we can have 3 people. Cause I want to start having like Chris Arnold come back. You know, he's a radio Hall of Famer here in Dallas, and he's on the sports radio station. Actually, I'm cool with a lot of the people at the sports radio stations that I want to actually bring in, if possible, to get on the show. I mean, I got one that wants to talk WNBA because he's a WNBA fan as well. You got a couple of wrestling people that they don't get to talk wrestling on the radio. They said they'll be down to either join me and Dark or hop on a sports show. And then we have another guy that's into Lamette. It's whatever, Lamette Champion. I'm open to whoever want to join. Even if y'all want to just call in a Discord and use it as like a phone line. If y'all want to chat in the Discord and chat with us, it's open. Just hit ! Discord. It'll take you to my Discord. Actually, we in a message, but yeah, y'all just let me know. Just let me know how y'all want to do it.
Absolutely, that'd be fun. Yeah,
and yeah, we'll open it up. I'm always, just like the wrestling podcast, I'm always willing to open it up. Any podcast I do, no matter if it's through chat, video, if we allow, if we can do video without messing up overlays and stuff, and audio. I'm always open to chat with the community, so it makes it better.
Oh yeah.
So. But yeah, I definitely appreciate everybody, man. I hope you have a great rest of your day, Tony.
You, sir.
Hopefully our weather gets like yours, because it sounds like your weather is beautiful right
74 and sunny out here.
Golly, man. Appreciate the Lamette Champion with the bits again. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it is, what is it? It's 50. Actually, no, it just went up to 60. But it's still windy. I think the sun is starting to peak out now, and the rain is finally
slowly
gone.
getting there.
But it's supposed to storm tomorrow, so
Bruh.
you just can't win.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to get rain this week. Yep.
We just can't win, man. So, but shout out to everybody, man. Lamette Champion, everybody that's watching Noti Game, people on YouTube, Q Moore. I can't announce it. I gotta wait. But Q Moore is the guy that sing the BFU song that everybody hears on my streams. Like when I get mad at somebody and I play the BFU song, that is the artist that does it, man. So he got something big coming up this week, man. So I can't announce it yet. So I'll wait until it actually comes out, and then we'll hopefully announce it on the stream together as well, man. So much love to everybody, man. Until next time, we are out.
Have a great day.
Sure.